I have seen some brutal takedowns in my time, but what South Park did to Epstein's best friend is a thing of special magnificence. Well, South Park is back and in full force. After a 2-year gap, we finally got a new season, and Trey Parker and Matt Stone did not hold back. In the latest episode, Sermon on the Mount, they destroy Epstein's best friend, Donald Trump. Nah, that doesn't do it justice. They dusted this motherfucker, turned him into fine particulates. It's so brutal, so vicious, so deliciously accurate. And they ain't even got started. This was just a fucking teaser, a nuclear level teaser, and it upset all the right people, including, especially, Epstein's best friend, Donald Trump. The episode starts with Cartman finding out that NPR got canceled by the Chomo in chief, so now Cartman's in a funk because he doesn't know what to do with himself. He built his whole personality around mocking the woke, but now woke is dead, so what's he supposed to do? He figures he might as well end it all and decides to take Butters with him. Right from the start, Parker and Stone come out swinging, ironically at the very people who most recently pretended to be fans of the show once South Park went after the far left. The show uses Cartman to ask the question, now that those folks who built their entire identities around being anti-woke got what they wanted, what are they going to do with themselves? It's also a little self-reflective because what they do in this episode could easily wind up getting the show canceled. Now, Cartman isn't the only one going through an identity crisis. PC Principal also went through some changes. See, now that woke is dead, he found Jesus, and now he calls himself Power Christian Principal and forces his ideology onto the students. He brings in Jesus to the school, the actual Jesus, to undo all the progressive politics he preached. This one was a double whammy because it's a commentary on how some of the people who went too far left are having a crisis of faith and attaching themselves to another kooky ideology to cope. And it's also a commentary on the irony of the return of the Christian right and their attempt to indoctrinate people's kids behind their parents' backs. People seem to forget that the Christian right originated that idea. The far left simply used the Christian right's own tactics against them. And of course, many of the people applauding forcing religion into schools are oblivious to the irony of them trying to brainwash people's kids because they believe they have the right ideas. But that irony doesn't go over the head of Stan's father, who is none too happy about people forcing religion on his kids. So he asks ChatGPT if it's okay, and obviously it's not. And so it explains to him what to do, and he's like, it's nice to have someone to talk to about these things. And his wife is right there the whole fucking time. I love this show. I love this show. So he riles up the rest of the parents, and they decide they're going to confront the president. They go to Mr. Garrison's house, but it turns out he's no longer the president. He gave it all up. He's chilling with his husband. So, who is the president? Well, it's actually Epstein's best friend, Donald Trump. They turn him into the Saddam Hussein character, from the voice to the animation to the shitty personality to his penchant for man love with Satan, and of course, the tiniest penis. They tag him so bad. They have all these portraits of him embarrassing himself, and a guy painting a naked portrait of Trump with a massive gut and a toothpick dangling between his legs. And he threatens to sue the painter for accurately copying the picture Trump gave him, which is sitting right next to the painting. It's so brutal, so brutal. If I were a worse person, I'd feel sorry for Trump. But I actually have a conscience, so no. Anyway, the Pinche Chilito finds out that South Park parents are after him, so he threatens to sue them for $5 billion. And this is where Parker and Stone lay down their donkey balls, because they go after 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes covers the protests in South Park, but they're so terrified of pissing off Epstein's bestie that they grovel their way through it. Now, the reason this is so ballsy is because South Park airs on Comedy Central, which is owned by Paramount, who also owns CBS where 60 Minutes airs, and recently settled on a lawsuit they would have won, but they've got this upcoming merger that needs government approval, and Little Dicky could nix it, so Paramount literally sold out. Now, the catch. The merger hasn't gone through yet, So this little stunt by South Park could totally fuck up that deal. And Parker and Stone don't stop there. Jesus comes to break bread with the South Park parents and tells them to stop or they'll get canceled just like Colbert, which was probably part of the settlement with Trump. And by they, Jesus means the show. Apparently, one of the conditions of the settlement was that Paramount has to make pro-Trump PSAs. At least, that's what the show implies and what Epstein's best friend claims. But Paramount denies this. Now, the irony of this blatant state-controlled censorship and propaganda isn't lost on me. This is exactly the sort of thing that Epstein's bestie and his followers bitched and moaned about for years, and yet here they are freely engaging in it. They were all for free speech until they got power, and now they want to silence anyone who dares to use that free speech in a way these people don't like. It's almost like they don't mean the things that they say. So the parents settle and agree to pay Trump $3 million, and then find out that they have to make ads for Trump. And they do. And it is the best satire I've seen in at least 10 years. They make this AI video of a fat-ass Trump waddling through the desert for the people, stripping off his clothes from the heat until he's lying in the sand butt naked. Then his tiny little dick pops up, complete with googly eyes, and goes, "I'm Donald J. Trump, and I endorse this message." And they end with Trump. His penis is teeny tiny, but his love for us is large. He gets us. All of us. He trumped us. God damn. All the dams. Goddamn, brother damn, sister damn, all the fucking dams. That's how you do it. Now, here's the kicker. The South Park guys just cut a $1.5 billion deal with Paramount for 5 more seasons and their whole catalog. And they just did the deal literally a few days ago. So Parker and Stone have fuck you money, which is why they felt free to say, "Hey Donald, fuck you." By the way, when the PSA started, it said 1 out of 50, implying that they're going to put one of these at the end of all the 50 episodes in their new contract. It's just brilliant. Fucking brilliant. I enjoyed every minute. And I wanted to jump on this immediately, but I waited because I wanted to see what the Pinche Chilito would do, because obviously he wasn't going to like it. And he did not disappoint. He had one of his dickless spokesmen come out and make this pathetic-ass comment. Quote, "The left's hypocrisy truly has no end. For years they have come after South Park for what they labeled as offensive content, but suddenly they are praising the show." Hypocrites say what? See, unlike, what's his name? What's this bitch's name? Taylor Rogers. Unlike Taylor Rogers, I'm old enough to remember when South Park first came out. And I remember how the right, how conservatives, how Republicans reacted to the show. And they were not positive about it. They pretty much hated it. They actually tried to get it pulled from cable providers. They didn't want anyone to see it because it was too vulgar and too crude, and made fun of them. And they continued to have that attitude for 20 years, until about 10 years ago, when the South Park guys decided to take some pot shots at the far left. Then all these conservatives suddenly decided that South Park was brilliant comedy and satire. The reason their attitude changed had nothing to do with the quality of the comedy and satire. It was the target. As long as the right were the butt of the jokes, they hated it. But the moment the South Park guys went after people these folks don't like, all of a sudden the right was like, "Oh, it's the most brilliant show ever made." Taylor Rogers shows yet again that every right-wing accusation is a confession. People like him and his tiny dick boss are hypocrites. But he wasn't done. Quote, "Just like the creators of South Park, the left has no authentic or original content, which is why their popularity continues to hit record lows." Really? Because the last time I checked, all of the good stuff that has been created in my lifetime, all of it, every single thing you can think of that was created since the 80s, the vast majority of it has been created by people on the left, including the stuff that's popular right now. Most of the franchises, most of the films, most of the TV shows, the video games, the music, most of it was created by people who are not politically on the right. So that argument just doesn't work. Again, every accusation is a confession. His side has been bitching about the culture war for decades, and they don't have a single movie, TV series, or overall franchise to show for it. Or do you still want to pretend that Mr. Bertram, Lady Ballers, and Greg Gutfeld are grade A comedy? But he still wasn't done. Quote, "This show hasn't been relevant for over 20 years and is hanging on by a thread with uninspired ideas in a desperate attempt for attention." Really? Because I seem to remember people singing the show's praises over the last 10 years, especially when Joining the Pandaverse came out. Oh, how quickly you forget. It was all over the internet. It was on all the social medias. And that was 2023. Now, I know because of the amount of melanin in my skin, I'm not supposed to be good at math, but the last time I checked, 2023 was just 2 years ago, not 20. So again, you are wrong. He spends the rest of the comic gargling the Chilito's nuts, which technically makes Taylor an accessory because we all know on what island those nuts have been. So yeah, Epstein's best friend got his feelings hurt. Now when it comes to his followers, from what I've seen in videos, their response is mixed. Some are pissy about it, and some are trying to pretend it didn't happen. For the people trying to pretend it didn't happen, oh, it happened, son, and it's gonna keep happening because South Park still has 49 more episodes to fuck with your boy, and they gon' do it. And for the people who are ass mad about it, didn't y'all say y'all wanted to bring comedy back? This episode was hilarious. I thought this is what y'all were about. You can't be mad when somebody roasts your dear leader the way that he roasts everybody else. You're over here claiming you're for free speech. Well, this is free speech. You can't start clutching your pearls now. You need your hands free to move your dear leader's gut out the way. Anyway, I thought this episode was brilliant. I've been waiting for some good satire to deal with the current situation, and we can't put all the responsibility on Jon Stewart. I mean, he's doing the best he can, but he is only one man. It's about time somebody else decided, you know what? We're going to stop playing nice, because that's the right way to handle it. And you know that's the right way by how people flip out over it. Notice how they've got no clapback. The best they got is, oh yeah, well, you're not funny. They've got nothing. There's no saving face from this. And if South Park gets canceled, everyone will know it's because Paramount bent the knee. And for the people on the left who sat there for years trying to figure out how to deal with this is how you deal with it. I mean, look at what Parker and Stone accomplished, and they ain't even talked about Epstein yet. They ain't going after J.D. Vance, they ain't talked about the election. They got so much material, and they ain't even started yet. This is how you do it. Sometimes you just have to stop being nice and hit him where it hurts, in his teeny, tiny penis. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.